ahead. Thank you.
All right, babe.
We got 9 people. We're way good.
Yeah. Extra credit.
Yeah. All right, you took our picture. We can leave now.
The truths about bottled water. I will show you the comparison in the cost, recycling, how it is regulated, and is it really better to give you a true understanding of bottled water and its effects on the environment. I'm going to give you the comparisons and cost of bottled water to gasoline, bottled water to water filters, Brita and Pure, and bottled water to city water. Bottled water is most often compared to gasoline because the people of the United States always say how high gas prices are. According to GasBuddy.com, as of September 21st, 2011, the lowest gas price in the U.S. is found in South Carolina for $3.28 a gallon, and the highest in Hawaii at $4.22 a gallon. I'm going to compare these gas prices to Aquafina bottled water. At grocery stores, you can buy a 24-pack of 16 fluid ounce bottled water for $4.99 in a search I conducted on Walmart.com. This 24-pack of bottled water equals exactly 3 gallons of water. So in comparison to gasoline, this is cheaper. However, when I compare buying a single bottle of water from a store, you will see a significant rise in cost. An average bottle of water costs $1.49 from a convenience store. 1 gallon of 16 fluid ounces of bottled water consists of 8 bottles of water. If you add this up, you will see that 1 gallon of water is $11.92, which is almost triple that the cost of a gallon of gasoline. You would be able to put roughly 3.5 gallons of gasoline in your car. My favorite comparison now is bottled water to water filters, better known as Brita and Pures. Brita.com sells the pitcher for $12.99 and a 3-pack of filter refills for $20.99. PureWater.com sells their pitcher for $19.99 and a replacement filter for $7.99. As you can see, the cost in both pitchers is significant. However, where each of these companies get the consumer is on the refills. In both companies, it is recommended that you change the filters every 2 months. Do the math, and to properly use these systems, it will cost at least $75 for just 1 year. The interesting part in the comparison between these water filters and bottled water is that these are all about taste. Looking over multiple websites and reports, the common ground all of these share is that they only provide a better tasting water, not a better quality of water as you were led to believe. Ever wonder why Pure is not spelled P-U-R-E? When the company was founded, if they went by the name Pure, they would be false advertising because their water is not quote-unquote pure. Let's look at bottled water in comparison to city water. Notice I do not use the term tap water as most people would call water coming into your home. The reason for this is tap water could be the river that the bottling company can get their water out of, as well as the city. But the city falls under filtering and disinfecting laws, and the bottlers do not. I have two water bills from the city of Manhattan. I called the office on September 21st, 2011 to see how to properly read my bill and how many gallons I use a month and where to find it. Manhattan measures 1 unit of water at just a little under 750 gallons, but we will use 750 gallons to keep this simple. One thing to keep in mind about this example is that the city charges a sewer fee of $39.81 and a storm drainage fee of $3.93 per month. This is the only constant on the bill. So on one bill, my family used 3 units of water, which equals 2,250 gallons of water over a 33-day period. I took my total gallons and divided it by 33 days to see that we use 68.18 gallons of water a day. Now remember my constant, sewer and storm drainage fee. If you add in my 68.18 gallons of water a day, my average cost for this 33-day period is $1.67 per day. It is pretty amazing that I can use that much water and only spend 18 cents more per day than a bottle of water. And for using 2,250 gallons of water, my total was $11.33. Where can you buy 2,250 gallons of water, bottled water, for $11.33? I also have another bill you can look at to compare the two. See, there's two. Now let's talk about recycling of bottled water. Contrary to popular belief, bottles from bottled water cannot be recycled. The reason for this is it contaminates the plastic. The reason for this is contaminants found in the plastic could pollute the water in the bottles even more than it already is. According to the Ecology Center in Berkeley, California, plastics are recycled into new secondary products such as textiles, parking lot bumpers, and plastic lumber. The reason I'm informing you of this is to teach you safe ways to drink your water, whether it be from bottles or a BPA-free container. If you do use bottles, it is recommended no more than 25 refills due to the contaminants found in the plastic. When you do choose to dispose of your plastic bottle, crush it down so that it takes up less room in already crowded landfills. Don't forget the commercial on TV about the plastic bottles being able to stretch around the earth multiple times from bottles of bottled water being thrown away. I think you will be interested to know that the Natural Resource Defense Council says 60 to 70% of bottled water is exempt from the Federal Drug Administration FDA rules because it is sold and packaged within the same state. So what does this mean to you? It's easy. Bottled water has little to no regulations. In fact, the FDA gives the power to the individual states to regulate bottled water, which, like the federal government, is underfunded and has no strict guidelines for bottled water improvement. The FDA reports that it has fewer than one person dedicated to developing and issuing rules, and also fewer than one person ensuring compliance. In the following comparisons, it will start to sink in just how much city water is better for you than bottled water. Keep in mind that the FDA, with what little control they have, regulates bottled water, while the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, is responsible for city water. Bottled water is allowed to have a certain amount of any type of coliform, while the city water cannot have any confirmed E. coli or fecal coliform. City water must be filtered and disinfected, whereas the FDA has left this up to the states, who for the most part have no filtering or disinfecting programs in place. Bottled water plants are only required to test for coliform bacteria once a week, while the city water is tested at least 100 times, if not more, a month. That's at least 25 times per week. City government is tested by the government and certified. City water is tested by the government in certified labs, while bottled water does not have to undergo certified testing. If any bacteria is found in city water, it must be reported to state and federal government, while bottled water plants are not required to report anything. City water branches must once a year issue annual reports to consumers about what is in their water, while bottled water plants do not. It is plain to see what the state and federal governments care about in water. So in conclusion, is bottled water really better? You have to answer that question for yourselves. I have given you the cost, how the cost compares to other water filters, gasoline and city water, the damage that alleged recycling does to the environment, and how little bottled water is regulated. So why do consumers buy bottled water? Consumers buy bottled water because it tastes better and is convenient for on-the-go people.